Does that fit this? Give me Revelation 2 and 13. Let me ask you something. In the Bible,
If it was done in like educated college,
okay, so you saying it depends on the reason, right? Your color depends on the reason?
no, it has to
So-
do with when this was built in the desert.
Right.
It has nothing.
What
African skin does not have to do
what
with
was built in the desert? What was built in the desert?
No, but I'm just saying that you're saying Jesus was from the desert, right?
No, I didn't say Jesus from the
So
desert.
you're saying.
All I'm saying is
I'll
this is
agree
not
with-
him.
I'll agree with that. 100%.
Okay, so
There's no
now
doubt.
look, let me ask you something. What's your name?
Yeah.
Dan. Dan, if you're talking to a 10-year-old kid right there, and you say Christ doesn't look like this, then he's going to say, well, Dan, what does
I
Christ
would
look
say more
like?
of a Middle Eastern.
No, listen to me. Listen to me.
You're not Middle Eastern.
Listen to me for a second, Dan. If that we talking about the 10-year-old little kid. So if that 10-year-old little kid says, then what does Christ look like? How would you answer?
Well, here's the situation. You're talking about the from books, right? You're not going to see a picture from the fucking 2,000 years ago.
You don't have to have a picture
I'm
to
saying-
know what he look
But
like.
he does not look like an African American. Absolutely
Oh,
not.
okay, let's say this. Let's say you're right. Let's say you're right. Look, that's not gonna get them mad. Look,
I'm
they're not gonna
trying to
move.
get mad. I'm
Now
not
you
trying to
looked
get
at it
mad
like,
either.
oh.
Well, because I hear you
So-
saying devil,
Because
as
the
I'm
devil,
walking by,
because
I
the
don't really
devil
like that.
is a liar. Now this is what I want you to understand, Dan. See, I asked you that question on purpose because you have the same mindset as a Christian. Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. See, Christianity don't believe in the Bible. You know that, right?
Right. I don't
Oh,
either.
you agree?
I went to Catholic school my whole life. I understand.
Okay, good. Because see, we're Jews and we really believe in the Bible.
Okay.
So that's how we know he don't look like this. Hold on, let me finish. God gave you the floor. So if I'm
I'm okay
talking,
with that.
that's cool.
I
We
can
can
live with it.
we can have a dialogue.
live with it.
We can have a dialogue. So I asked you what you would say to this 10-year-old boy. So you said he's most definitely not African American, and
would
you
be more
just
Middle Eastern.
because of the land mass, right? The way the land is. I agree. I agree. Now, it's two cuts that I can get you on. One is, how do Egyptians look right now?
Well, I've never been to
Don't they look
We're
white?
We're really not. Absolutely not.
Egyptians are not light colored to this day, right now. If I go to Egypt, it's not a light looking colored
no,
man.
absolutely not.
Here's why he is. Most of them are Arabs, Dan.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So those are light colored people.
Listen, I'm friends with all kinds of.
Okay, so then we know that the real Egyptians were way darker than that. We know that. So we know it's
I'm
not.
not sure about
My
that.
point. My point is, it's not land. Now here's my other point. If I was talking to this 10-year-old little boy, and I was trying to get him to understand, hey, Nasha, if Christ don't look like this, what we've been taught, how does he look? This is what I would say. Let's read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, it's light. Verse 14. His hair and his hair were white like wool.
His hair and his hair was
could be an
white
old-
like
that could be an
wool.
old guy.
Now here's my question. He said like wool. So who has the texture of woolly hair? I'll wait.
It's a valid point. Okay.
So that's a valid point. You see my brothers, you see the brother right here? The brother right here, see how his braids is in the back? You see how it looks like wool?
Okay.
That's wool. That's a woolly texture. Is that a white man texture?
No.
It's not even an African texture. Africans have like this beady hair. It's not like wool.
That's right.
Let's keep going.
As white as snow.
As long as I don't walk by
And his eyes were as the flame of fire.
Don't go nowhere, Dan. This is the
Oh, I
good
thought- oh, we were
part.
leaving.
This is the good
Let's
part.
leave.
This is the good part. Right here. Right here. Hold on, Dan.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
What's the color of brass?
Color what?
The color of brass. See, say it again.
How about like gold? Brown?
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Did you say brown? You said gold brown. Okay, it's a derivative of brown. Now, if something is white, right? If I have something white, the lightest color you can think of, and I stick it in the oven, and I turn the oven up, and I leave it in there for about 5 minutes, and I open the oven, what color is that?
I got a beautiful tan, to be honest with you.
But if I stuck you in an oven, and I left you in there for 5 minutes,
5 minutes, I'm dead.
no, what
So-
color would your skin be?
It's a tough world, man.
A tough
You're talking
cold?
about the under the skin?
I'm talking about your skin. When they find your body, Dan, how would you look?
You're gonna
When
be pink under your skin too.
no, listen, it's not gonna be no pink if fire is burning you. It's gonna turn
For
black.
5 minutes.
You stick anything in an oven
5
and
minutes
you
or
burn
5
it,
minutes, all right.
and you burn it, it turns black. Listen to this part.
right.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace.
As if they what?
Burn in a furnace.
As if they what?
Burn in a furnace.
That's white, Dan? That's off-white? Is that green?
No, it's not green.
So if it's burned in a furnace, what color is it?
I agree with you with your picture. I agree
No,
with that.
all I'm telling you,
Yes, I
Dan, is look, it's hard for white supremacists to admit the truth. Dan,
Right.
guess what?
Hey, listen.
You're a
I can tell
devil.
you last year, my sons came home from school and they said, listen, the teachers are telling us, we should be embarrassed of our white skin. I said, fuck you. I said, you tell me you're proud to be fucking white.
Hey, there's nothing wrong
what
with
I
that.
did.
You know, only thing we
I
saying,
told them that too. I
Dan,
told them
look,
the
look,
same
the
thing.
only thing we saying, Dan, is we Jews and we should be proud that this ain't the image and that the image is black.
I
Christ
already
is
said-
black.
I already said-
He's a
That's
black
right.
man from the tribe of Judah, and black man you should be proud
I
of.
don't feel fucking bad for shit.
That's what the Lord told us though, Dan.
I didn't do
He
shit.
said, go look, Christ said go after the lost sheep of Israel, right? He didn't say go after everybody. Christ didn't want everybody. Now, Christ said that after the lost sheep of Israel, and this is a man walking around as if he'd been burned in a furnace, then that means that Christ, wait, hold on, let me speak. I'll let you speak. That means that Christ got the message from the Lord to go tell my children that they look like they've been burned in a furnace and they need to come back to me. Just like you stood up for your children, the Most High standing up for us.
That's right.
That's the point,
For my
man.
children.
That's what I'm trying to get
They
you to
don't-
understand.
They do not have to say
Listen,
fucking I'm sorry for
listen,
shit.
that's good for
That's
you.
just the way it is.
And
That's
look,
the way it
blacks,
is.
Hispanics, and Native Indians don't have to say we sorry for shit.
That's
So
right.
stop murdering us in the street.
That's right.
Tell your local police department, stop killing blacks and Hispanics in the street.
Right.
Stop doing that.
Look at the statistics.
What's the statistics on
Absolutely
George
not.
Floyd? What's the statistics on George Floyd,
He
man?
fucking choked because he was on a drug
What
overdose.
about
That's something different.
Tamir
No, I
Rice?
didn't
There
wanna
was
fucking
yeah,
get
you
into
gotta
that.
leave now.
I don't have to leave.
No,
I'm
it's a
just saying I
segue to my
I
next
I
scripture.
disagree with you
No, you can
100%.
disagree, but
I
don't mean you
disagree
right.
100%.
So
I'm 100%
Look,
right.
look.
But, okay.
Hey, can I ask you something? I don't want to be furious. I'm just curious. That's all. What made you, like, what did you hear him say that made you stop?
I heard him call me. I heard something about white devil. That's
Right.
all I heard. That's all I fucking
Okay.
heard. That's all I heard.
Let me ask you this, and we can have a quick dialogue real quick. Do you believe in context and definition?
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Context and definition of words. We say...
He might not have meant it towards me, but I
No,
have to
no,
do
I
it.
understand. I just want to know why you stopped. So I would like to help you understand. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We professionals. You a professional? We a professional. You understand? You said it's the devil. You said it's the devil, right? That you stopped for. You heard the word devil. Okay. The word devil means to lie or deceive. That's what that means. That's what the word devil means. Now, of course we don't believe that there is somebody in the sewer underground with pitchfork, with horns, because that's a fairy tale. That's a fairy tale, right? That's a fairy. So we use the word devil to show our people who has lied to them. Like, have you ever been to Russia? Or like, have you ever been to Europe? In certain parts of Europe, in their cathedrals, and in Russia, they have something called Russian icons, which are ancient artifacts depicting the biblical individuals as black people. And they turned them into white people during the Renaissance. So all we're saying is that the white man is the devil because he lied and said Jesus Christ was white when he was black. That's all. Like the so-called Jews. That's like, what's your nationality?
Irish. It's
You Irish. Okay, so you Italian.
But then again, my father's from Sicily, so-
No problem. So what if I said, and you're right to have that Italian pride. All the struggles the Italian been through when they came to this country, all of that stuff. You right to have that pride. You right to have that pride. But just check this out. What if I said, man, the Italians, they Chinese. Chinese people start calling themselves Italian. And then who do you really like that's an Italian guy that's like, this my man, like, he's the hardcore Italian. Who? Just give me a name.
You know, I really can't give you a name. Maybe my father.
No, okay, your
Maybe
father.
right to that.
What if your father, they start painting your father as a Chinese person? Wouldn't you be angry? You're gonna be like, my father ain't no goddamn Chinese. He an
I
Italian.
agreed with his picture all day long.
Yeah. So we just
That's
explained it. We just explained it to you that the white man is a devil, and you, because you're white, hold on.
You stuck me with the white devil as I walked by.
Right. But we say the white man is the devil, and because you know you are a white man, your people have lied about the true identity of the people in this book. That's all we're saying. We have to do it in such an aggressive way. But I'm trying to help you understand. You say your name, Dan?
Yeah.
Well, Dan, I'm just trying to help you understand. Just like you told your children to have pride in their nationality and blood, how can our children have pride in it? I'm just, wait. Just answer that question first before you tell me a story. I'm willing to hear your story, right? But if black and Hispanic children's nationality was stolen from them, how can we give our children the same pride you give yours?
What do you mean by stolen?
I just told you, meaning the true Jews are Negroes, according to history, according to archaeology, right? And there's pride in that. It's like a black man, let's say for, hold on, wait. We should. But how do we, if we're constantly being told we're another people? When we're being lied to and deceived, saying we're another people. How can I tell my children, your forefathers are the men of the Bible? Instead of, you African, and they say, Dad, what kind of African? I don't know, we from the whole continent. Like, you see how that can make a child lose his soul, and then our children idolize, Captain America.
Right.
They look at Captain America and Spider-Man.
Is that because he's white? Captain America?
Because he's a hero. He look at, but who plays the hero? Who plays the hero?
All right.
There you go. So now they idolizing the white hero when Jesus Christ is a hero for him.
Well, let me ask you something.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I'm going to throw this out there.
He just making sure. He just making sure your hands don't come too close. That's all. So no problem. Go ahead.
Let me ask you something. Like, when I see a family with a father figure, black family figure, I see that kid's growing up fine. Like they're good kids. There's no problem.
Right.
So why don't we fight for more? Like, I need an African American father that's going to be.
Man, give Dan a hand. Give Dan a hand. You are absolutely right.
Okay.
But this is the problem.
What's the problem?
This is the problem. America has designed a system to take the father out of our homes.
Right.
You could go research that. Now, hold up. Statistically, you want to talk about? You want to talk about the numbers? No, not just poverty. Let's talk about the Vietnam War. Let's talk about the war where black men, wait a minute, Dan.
I'm okay with
Black men were in fought with white men during Vietnam, and guess what happened?
And they were best friends. I'm going to tell you right now.
Wait a minute, no, that's not all that happened. Some of them were friends because you were in the war together. But some of those white unit leaders would send the black men to go get picked off by the Viet Cong. And then guess what else happened? Guess what else happened? Our society, American society, flooded our communities with heroin in the 60s.
Right.
And then guess what happened in the 80s? Crack cocaine. They did not do it. They did not do it. Wait. They did not do it to the extent that they did other people. All people suffer from crack, but not like blacks and Hispanics.
That's right.
Some white people got swept up into it. You understand?
Right.
But not like blacks and Hispanics. Looking at us to today, I agree with you saying we should have black fathers in the home. Give me what the scripture is saying before you could buy in the strong man's house. Like the intelligent, the ones who study people and the way people move and study psychology, they know to take over people and control the people, you have to remove the father. Right. In a lot of our communities, the father has been systematically removed.
Sounds like you're going to vote red on the election.
I like Donald Trump because he honest like you. I like Donald Trump because he honest like you. Yeah, he just making sure your hands don't come close. That's all right. Yeah, I understand. But go ahead. What you about to say?
I don't even know.
You know what? I appreciate your honesty. And I appreciate the fact that as a white man, you came up here and stood on your principles to say you're going to tell your children to be proud of who they are.
I do, every day.
And that's right. So as a black man, we are going to be proud to come on this corner and call a white man the devil because of what they did to our children. You understand? We got to be proud about it because how will my children grow? So do you remember 9/11? Do you remember? You do. But that was in the past, though. That was in the past.
I'm okay with it.
Right, so why are you celebrating?
I moved on.
Yeah, so no, you ain't say you moved on. You said you remember 9/11.
Yeah.
Do you honor it?
Honor it.
Meaning, like, you know how people look at 9/11, they, pay their condolences and say they lost loved ones and things.
Loved ones.
Right. So why should I forget about slavery? And how am I gonna raise? How am I gonna raise?
No circumstance in my city was a
Let me
great-
ask you this: do you teach?
It has nothing to do with me being from Europe myself.
No problem. Do you teach your Italian children about the history of the other Italians coming over here?
All the time I said it was a terrible idea. No one should ever do that under any
To come over here, right? But you teach them the history of how they got here, right? Of your father, the father before him, your granddad, and what they had, and what part of Sicily they from.
My grandfather jumped off the boat in fucking the harbor, had nothing. We grew
Right.
up poor as
And you
shit.